Barnstable police are investigating a fatal motor vehicle accident in West Barnstable. Spring road projects are beginning, and the Conservation Commission will make an important decision tonight regarding the West Barnstable shooting range. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, May 13th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Barnstable police want to know what caused a fatal motor vehicle accident in West Barnstable yesterday morning. Police Chief Paul McDonald says the accident is under investigation.
Upon the officers' arrival, they discovered it was a one-car motor vehicle accident. The vehicle was traveling in an easterly direction from Sandwich coming into Barnstable. We're not exactly sure what happened. It possibly could be a medical-related event. There were no other vehicles involved. Obviously, that particular roadway is lightly traveled, but the accident reconstruction team is looking at it, and right now we are looking and trying to make a determination if it was medically related or was some type of mechanical problem with the motor vehicle.
The victim of that crash was 52-year-old Daniel Hawkins of Centerville. A Mashpee man is behind bars after shots were fired at Keys Beach in Hyannis Saturday night. Police Chief Paul McDonald says no one was injured during the incident.
Again, we received multiple 911 calls regarding one shot being fired in the area of Keys Beach, which is right off of C Street, or at the end of C Street, going into Ocean Avenue, heading into Hyannisport. What happened, apparently there was a verbal altercation between three individuals and one male. They're all known to each other. They're all known to the police department. The two males got involved in a verbal confrontation. One gentleman pulled out a firearm, pointed at him, fired, discharged one round, and the one round went into the dirt. We're not sure if he was actually aiming at him or just trying to scare him, but obviously it did accomplish that. Who called us? The complainants called us. We had both vehicles flee the area. The crews were already there, and now they stopped both individuals. One individual, William Benton, he was subsequently arrested and charged with assault by means of a dangerous weapon, discharging a firearm within 500 feet of a dwelling, and unlawful possession of a firearm. He was held on $10,000 cash bail. He did make that $10,000 cash bail yesterday at arraignment because he was out on bail on other charges. His bail was revoked. He's being held.
21-year-old William Benton of Mashpee faces multiple charges, including assault by means of a dangerous weapon. Chief McDonald and other town officials recently met with the State Undersecretary for Housing and Community Development. The groups discussed funding for a day shelter for the homeless in Hyannis.
His group, basically, they administer over $1 billion in state and federal funds directly going into the sheltering program across the state. We've been working on this. The social service agency, the town of Barnstable, the police department is working on this for the entire winter. Our piece of the puzzle, we are putting together the community impact team, which will start next week. And the shelter, everybody is desperately trying to get them to keep the shelter open 24 hours a day. Right now, it's an emergency shelter. It opens up at 7 o'clock at night, and at 7 o'clock in the morning it closes. Anyone who stayed there overnight, they have to leave the premises, and basically they go out and hang around Main Street for the entire day. We want the shelter to be open, and there was a presentation last Friday by all the social service agencies. Mr. Presby, Senator Wolf was there. It was a positive meeting, and we do believe we're probably going to get at least partial funding to get that shelter open on a 24-hour basis, hopefully starting sometime this month or next month.
McDonald says they will consult with other local organizations that work with the homeless while developing plans for the day shelter. The Department of Public Works is working to restore roads that were damaged over the winter. Director of the Department of Public Works, Dan Santos, says highway crews right now are focused on fixing potholes around town.
Will take us quite some time this year, given the scope of the damages we had as a result of the bad winter and all the damage from that. We have street sweeping, which we pretty much have concluded. We have contractors come in and do that. And we also have a crew, but the bulk of it's done with a subcontractor, so we can get it done quickly. And we have our contracted crews through our engineering office here working on some crack sealing in various locations around the town. And we'll be doing some overlay paving in Barnstable on Althea Drive, Country Club Drive, and Cypress Point Road. And we're continuing to work on the redesign of the Lincoln Road off Route 28 here. and then finishing up Main Street Katuitt design and permitting, which we'll be constructing in the fall, and portions of Osterville and West Barnstable Road. So we're busy, and then there'll be other smaller repairs that occur throughout the summer.
Santos says the department also recently completed updates to several town boat ramps.
The East Bay boat ramp on East Bay Road, that one has been reconstructed, and that's complete and operational. The McCarthy boat ramp off Hayward Road, off South Main there in Centerville, that boat ramp is back in operation. They've just finished that. That was a total reconstruction. And the big one is at Prince Cove. We're not done with that one yet. To be, another week or two. It's hard to tell completely because as they remove material, whether they have to fill in or put some more material down, there's going to be doing some tree clearing and just some general repairs to finish that up. But that's a major boat ramp that gets used, and we like to have that operational certainly during May for all the folks that want to put their sailboats in, and they use that ramp. But there are other options to get boats into the water, and the folks at MEA are happy to let people know where those things are.
The town has a full list of ramp locations and information about any closings listed online. You can visit that site at town.barnstable.ma.us. All you have to do is click through to the Marine Environmental Affairs Department. The Conservation Commission will discuss a proposed land swap that would remove any conservation restrictions from a 16-acre parcel that includes the West Barnstable shooting range. Conservation Administrator Rob Gatewood says the state found the range was not a good use for conservation land.
We know that prudence will not allow the town to run a loosely organized range. In order to bypass this management headwind, Division of Conservation Services suggested, let's swap the land out, okay? And the town, it isn't on the table tonight, but what is being talked about, if I can say so, is a exchange parcel, same acreage that's being worked out with the state, with the state's approval, same acreage in Independence Park in a well protection district. It's a state listed potential vernal pool, has a wetlands on it, is endangered species, priority habitat, and regional core habitat. It's got many things going for it that the range never had.
Right.
And so the parcel was attractive from that standpoint.
Gatewood says the decision being considered tonight is an important one.
The Commission is asking itself, can it find this land where the range sits now, no longer important for the purposes of the grant, conservation, passive recreation. If it can find that finding and vote that vote, that's important. Then we can get on with the town council consideration of the specific parcel, to vote on the parcel, and if they're of an approving mind, it can go on to the state legislature. All those steps necessary to release that land. Conservation Commission would take management authority over the Breeds Hill parcel,
right,
where there's a lot of interesting stuff from an ecology point of view and a land management point of view. What will be actively discussed tonight is whether the Commission will have a role in managing the shooting range.
The Conservation Commission meets tonight at 6:30 in the Town Hall hearing room. The board chair will entertain a limited amount of public comments at tonight's meeting. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show is our Business Barnstable segment. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need, as well as a special piece getting a sneak peek at the new Whole Foods in Hyannis. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.